Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kalpesh Patel, and I'll be your host on tonight's Nuts and Bolts training, where we will skill you up and teach you everything that you need to know to win big in network marketing, an industry that I fell in love with 27 years ago, and to this day will challenge anyone anywhere to find a better vehicle that can get anyone anywhere from zero to hero with minimal risk and maximum upside. An industry which has created more wealth for more people than any other industry in the world. An industry that has allowed more people to start their own business working from home part-time from as little as a couple of $100 and create unlimited wealth. That is this industry. And, there are many, many different opportunities in the world, many different businesses you can go to. I started my life out from pennies. And, many of you know my story. I started, in fact, not even pennies. I started out with zero layout. I actually used to take stock from my dad's shop and sell it at school. And I'd make a profit on zero investment. How about that? That's what's possible when you think like an entrepreneur, how to turn nothing into something. I was a master of taking stock from my dad's shop on credit just for a few hours. I'd load my bag up in the morning, sell all the stuff out at lunchtime, go back home from school in the evening, give him the cost of the goods and keep the profit. That's the deal I negotiated. And he was very encouraging of that entrepreneurial spirit. And from the age of 11, I was making a couple of pounds a day, penny here, a few pennies there. And, when you're 11 years old, that is a heap of cash. No outgoings, no overheads, 1 hour of work. Wasn't long. A few years later, 3-4 years, I was selling trainers and tracksuits, and that turned into selling cars further down the line. And eventually I was buying and selling retail businesses. So the concept was always that you would get in, you turn it around, and you'd move it on. You'd buy low, sell high. But here's the thing. How many people had those opportunities, were surrounded by that kind of environment, and had the ability to afford to buy stock eventually in advance? Like I'd have to go and buy trainers and tracksuits and whatever items that teenagers wanted. I'd have to lay out the cash first and then go and collect the cash when I sold it. Sometimes people changed their mind. I'd be stuck with the stock, all of that stuff, right? All the headaches of traditional business as I rewind and remember all of those fruitful, fun, and sometimes painful decisions and days. You win some, you lose some, as they say. But as a young entrepreneur, I was learning to win more often than I lost. And over time, started cracking some good nuts, as they say. Eventually, like I said, the stakes got higher. And I entered into a game where you would need hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy a business, do everything you could, invest tens of thousands turning it around, and then sell it on for a profit. Huge risk for a small reward. And the more and more I did that, the scarier it got. And a couple of times I got it wrong, and you demolish like 3-4 transactions worth in one bad decision, right? At that level. But then I discovered network marketing, where you can get started, as I said, for a couple of $100 or a couple of £100, like what I call pocket change. Every working human being on most of the planet can muster up a couple of $100 if it means that they could transform their life. An example I would often give is that if you could buy your dream home for $200, could you find the $200? If you could buy your dream car for just $200, would you find it? And the answer invariably always would be, of course. Of course, you would buy a Ferrari for $200 if it was available. Of course, you would buy a £500,000 house for $200 if that was possible. And guess what? It is, but only with network marketing. Anyone, anywhere can do that. Buy yourself whatever dream you've got for £200 plus some sweat equity. Put in a few hours learning the skills. Get consistent, build your muscle, become stronger each day at being a professional in the industry, building your mastery, improving your skill set so that you can naturally connect with a stranger, communicate with effectiveness, influence their decision-making process, so that they started deciding like a winner versus losing decision-making processes, which is where most people are stuck. Most people spend their entire life making decisions that are self-destruct, that keep them small, minimize them, and steal their potential away from them. Most people run away from opportunities, deter themselves from taking chances and risks, talk things down that other people are making work for themselves. Do you know when I started out 27 years ago, my family and my friends, the people I loved the most and cared about the most, that I went to first, ridiculed me, laughed at me, told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I was getting involved in all sorts of nonsense. I should watch out. All this kind of rubbish they gave me. Can you imagine? All well-meaning people, good-hearted people, loving people, caring people. They thought they were looking out for me because that's how most people are designed. Most people frown upon risks. They frown upon taking chances. They frown upon coloring outside of the lines or stepping into a new lane, learning new skills. Most people want everyone to stay where they are because it's familiar, it's comfortable. Then they can know each other and be in that lull, if you like, where they support each other in their minimalism, in their not growing, not taking chances, not taking risks, but they're not achieving either and just surviving. There's comfort. How's the saying go? There's what is it? Misery loves company. How about that? Misery loves company. Guess what? So does success. So does success. I love hanging around people that have dreams. I love hanging around people that have ambition, desire, fire in their belly. They want to get stuff done. So you just got to decide which phrases you're going to listen to and live by, right? So you can be miserable and you'll find a lot more company than you will if you're successful. But guess what? When you decide to be successful, and it's decision here first, right? When you decide to be successful, you may find fewer people that are willing to align with you, but guess what? The ones that you find will elevate you. They'll lift you. They'll support you. They'll move forward with you. They'll encourage you. They'll speak possibility and potential into you. It's funny how the world works like that. Whatever you consume becomes you. Whatever you focus on expands. All of these phrases exist there for a reason. You become the total sum of your environment, the people around you. So if that's true, doesn't it make sense to surround yourself with people that want you to win? Why would you want to surround yourself with people that want you to stay stuck, stay where they are, so they feel comfortable in their lack of desire, fire, possibility thinking, positive thinking, upward thinking? They want you to stay on that level, right? It's that comfort. It's like the crabs that pull you back down. You might have heard the story. You fill a barrel full of crabs, and guess what? Any crabs that grab hold of the lip of the barrel and try and pull themselves up, the other crabs will pull them back down. They will refuse to let any of the crabs get out of the barrel. It's insane. That's how humans are. When you reach up for success, your peer group 9 out of 10 times will pull you back to their level of comfort. Because if you reach and you succeed in pulling yourself out from the bottom, that shows them that they can too. And nobody wants to see what they could do, because now they have to face some demons. Now they have to take themselves on. People want to be lazy. They want to stay in that comfort zone. People want to watch television 5 nights a week and 2 weekends every single week. They want to drink beer, drown their sorrows, cook a barbecue, keep it simple. Everyone wants to do the same thing every week for the rest of their life. Familiarity. But guess what? Nothing wrong with that. There's just no potential there. It's like it's a lid. It's a confinement. You've confined yourself to that kind of zone, if you like, the bubble that you created that feels comfortable, but it's actually an illusion, isn't it? Because how can it possibly be comfortable from a spiritual perspective to know that you came on earth full of possibility and potential and left not tapping into any of it, suppressing it, keeping it down, not expressing yourself, not getting out there, not sharing, but burying it? I'm convinced, I haven't got there yet, obviously I'm here, but when I get to my point of dying, I'm convinced that my smile will be bigger having taken on the path I have than if I just decided to keep myself confined. I'm convinced that I'll just smile when I go because I've tried things. I've failed horribly and miserably at many things, screwed things up. But guess what? Got back up, gone again. Whether it's relationships, whether it's finances, businesses, friendships, travel, whatever it might be. Made some horrible travel decisions. Goodness, some of my trips, I put myself in some really dodgy, tricky situations. But guess what? Those memories are with me forever. I can at least tell you the sticky situations I found myself in different parts of the world that I shouldn't have got myself into. I can tell you the relationships I screwed up and how I screwed them up. I can tell you the business decisions where I've lost millions. At least I can live to tell the tale, right? What's the alternative? What did you do today, Kalpesh? Oh, I woke up, did the S's, went to work, came back home, had a beer, watched some telly, went to sleep. Woke up again, did the S's, went to work, came home, had a beer, watched telly, went to sleep. It's not for me. It's for some people. It is. Obviously, you've only got to look around. It's for most people. That life is for most people, and there's nothing wrong with it because guess what? It's safe. You don't get many scars in that life. You don't get many wounds. People will tell you how wonderful you are. They'll love on you. They'll feel sorry for you. They'll connect with you on that low frequency, making each other feel better. All of that stuff happens at that level. There's no risk. There's no exposure. There's no possibility or potential. It's like the flea that gets trained to jump only so high. You may have heard that story too, right? And so if you know, fleas naturally bounce like hundreds of times their height, right? So they can bounce hundreds of times their height and back down, hundreds of times their height and back down, hundreds of times their height and back down, full of possibility and potential. But you can train them. That's how flea circuses are built. So you get a container, you put the fleas in, then you put a lid on it, and the flea will jump up and hit its head, and they'll do it again, and it'll keep hitting its head, and it will learn the behavior. It'll only go so far. It learns not to hit its head. And you can take the lid off, and it will just go there and keep coming back as if there's a lid. There's no lid, but the flea doesn't know anymore. All it knows is if it goes any higher, there's a risk, and it doesn't want to take the risk. It just stays in the comfort zone. That's how we are as humans. Doesn't take much. A couple of slaps from life and we stop. We stop taking chances. We stop taking risks. We stop growing. We stop expanding because we're too scared to bump our head. Guess what? 9 out of 10 times, those illusions are somewhere tied in your past. One bad experience does not mean that every experience is bad. Some experiences are not the way you want them to be, and other experiences are way better than you want them to be. That's life. But you'll only ever know if you break free of your own mental barriers. So, your opportunity in network marketing is to do that. But guess what? There's inner work to do. The same person that operates outside of network marketing cannot succeed inside of network marketing unless they are willing to take themselves on. Network marketing is the ultimate growth pad. Think of it like a nursery for plants. You've got soil that's full of nutrition, full of goodness, gets watered regularly, gets nurtured regularly, gets plenty of sunlight, gets encouraged every day to turn from a seed to sprout out from the soil, take everything it needs to from the soil to continue to grow to its fullest potential. Plant kingdom's great for that, right? As you may have heard in many stories, plants always grow to their full potential. They always grow to their full potential. You'll never see a tree that's got good nutrition in the ground grow halfway to the trees around itself. They all reach for the sky. They all go to the highest level that they can based on the strength of their timber and the structure of their roots. They will all reach to their potential. There are short trees, there are tall trees. They all do the best that they can to the maximum ability they can. And guess what? Along the way, Nature teaches us so much, right? It gives us all of the analogies we need. They have to lose their leaves. They have to shed their old self to make room for new leaves next season. Humans are the same. We have seasons, right? Some of us have to let go of some of the leaves so that we can make room for new leaves. Some of us are still trying to hold on to the old, crusty, stale, dried up, dead leaves in our life. Not healthy, not cool, doesn't leave room for new, fresh, green leaves to grow. Some of you have got so many green leaves still available inside of you, but you're not able to display them because your branches are full of dead energy from the past. Who can relate to that, right? So we've got to go through, it's a daily exercise. It's a process that we're going to put ourselves through consistently, all the time. There's no end here, by the way, right? Some people think, oh, I've done it. I'm personally developed. They're the ones that make me laugh the most, right? Oh yeah, I'm personally developed. I've done this course, or I've done that course. I'm done. Wow. Like you really missed it. It would have been better if you didn't do the course, right? Because when you think you're done, you're really done, right? Better to be naive and not know than to think you know. That's a horrible space to be in. So just understand that this job's never done. The work is never done. Our potential is never done. It's not limited. Human beings have unlimited potential. Remind yourself daily, you are limitless. All right. Of course, there's physical limits. You know, you can't jump off a 10-story building and say, oh, I can fly. No, you go splat on the bottom of the floor and it won't end well. So yes, we have physical limits. Of course we do. But mentally, no limits. This playground here, you can build any experience you want in that mind of yours. You can add any color, any texture, any flavor, any language, any background, anything, any label, whatever you want to put, you can create all in your head. You can pretend to be Muslim one day, Christian another day, Hindu another day, a Buddhist another day. Eventually, you might even get to the point where you're just spiritual. Congratulations if you make it to that level. But, you know, letting go of whatever you know from the past is not easy, right? So when anything is possible, which it is in here, like anything and everything is possible, why not explore? Can you see how scared we are? I can't be another religion. What do you mean? I can't be religionless. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? How's that even possible? Which is where most people live, right? But guess what? You can transcend all of it. When you really get life, you're limitless. All of that stuff just confines of what you know is comfort zone, comfort driven. We're born into something, we're taught something, we live that one thing, and there's a familiarity and a comfort that's associated to that thing. But it limits us, right? Separates us, makes us think we are better than others. Others are inferior to us. That's all that stuff does. That's why most wars are fought in the world, because of all that nonsense of I'm better than you and I'm a different color than you and I've learned more than you and my books read better than your books read, and all that bullshit that humans do, which is so, we play so small, right? When you look, when you can elevate and tap into what I call your higher self, when you can start observing how your lower self operates in life, then you can grow. Massive growth potential when you can tap into your higher self. Your higher self has no limits. Your lower self is only limits, completely confined. I'm this skin color, so I can only go that far. I only have this many letters after my name from school and education, so I can only have these kind of jobs. I only speak this language, so I can only live in these kind of countries. We have 1,000,001 different things that confine us. I have this, so I can't do this. Because of this, I can't do that. I can't. Wow, really? Is that it? That's the conclusion? When the whole world, for thousands of years, has demonstrated to us over and over and over and over again with extraordinary examples of phenomenal human beings who keep on doing everything that we say we can't do. All the time. Whatever that might be. Breaking the speed within which a marathon is run. Running multiple marathons in one day. Running 100 meters faster than any doctor believed it was possible. We do this. Creating machines that can fly when everyone said humans can't fly. Solution oriented. We do everything that people say you can't do. Making millions when people say you can't. Isn't it interesting? You can't make $1 million a year. Okay. That's that then. Can you see? That mindset will keep you there. Okay, cool. If you can't, why would you even bother? If it's not possible, you're never going to try. It's only when you say it's possible and you have to re-ingrain it over and over and over again, because you are undoing generations of training. Generations. What you inherit in your first few years of childhood carries to the end of your days unless you undo it. Too much evidence in too many studies over the years that tell us this. Show me a 7-year-old and I'll show you the man. What does that even mean? It means that from 0 to 7, the parents and the schooling system has done all of the damage it's supposed to do in terms of limiting your potential. The rest of your life is lived by whatever you believe by the age of 7. Some small adjustments maybe that you make along the way, but pretty much show me the 7-year-old and I'll show you the man. I'll show you what the adult looks like throughout their life. Unless we interrupt that process. What's really fascinating is hardly anyone interrupts the process. We look around 5% of the population on the planet. Maybe another 5 or 10% pretends. They go along for the ride. What do I mean by pretends? They'll go to the seminars. Maybe 10% of the planet is in that part, right? They'll go to seminars, they'll buy books, they'll watch content, they'll listen to good content, but they'll do very little to apply any of it. But there's about 5% of the population on the planet overall, and I'm guessing these figures, of course, I'm just giving an analogy, but let's say about 5% of the planet that actually pulls their finger out and makes changes. Small changes. They're not, that's the thing, by the way, it's not about drastic. You can do drastic, but most of the time, a lot of the stuff that we do that's drastic is not sustainable. And so drastic that's not sustainable is like a bit of an elastic band scenario. You'll feel really great and motivated and you'll feel like you've grown for a bit, and then you'll shrink back to who you were again. The real win is consistency. Small changes that creep into your life over time. Small adjustments that you know you can carry for the rest of your life. Example, around 27 years ago, I made a decision to stop drinking fizzy drinks. One decision, nothing else. I just made a decision when I read a little bit and learned a little bit. And that was something I used to, in my opinion, do more of than I needed to do. I was like, okay, if I can take one small action to help myself and the rest of my life, let's start with that. And I stopped drinking fizzy drinks. Guess what? Here I am, 27 years later. Do I have a fizzy drink once in a blue moon? Probably a couple of times a year. I might have a sip just to remember that little tangly, tingly feeling on the tongue and, you know, all of that stuff that we get addicted to. But that's enough. I don't, you know, I'm trained out of it. It's done. It's not in my life. It's not on my radar. Don't need to order Coke and Sprite and Tango and whatever else that people on autopilot order without, because we all know it's shit for us, right? There's not a single human being on this planet in their right mind that could ever say this stuff's really good for us, right? I think there's enough evidence and science to back that statement up. Fair enough? Not a single human on the planet could justify that that stuff's really good for you. And yet 95% of the planet will mindlessly and unthoughtfully walk into any restaurant or any newsagent and pick it up out of habit because it quenches my thirst. No, it actually is, you know, it's not a thirst quencher. It's a sugar hit that you're getting addicted to. It's not the quenching of the thirst that you're addicted to. Water will quench your thirst better than anything else on the planet, but you won't get addicted to water because it doesn't hit the sugar button. And so understanding stuff helps make decisions, right? Small decisions that will serve you over time. Does that mean nothing bad will ever happen to you? No, of course it's not. It's not about trying to control the outcome. It's, as I always say, it's about improving the odds of success. Small adjustment like that may save you a lot of ailments going forward in life. That's all. If we know that sugar is one of the biggest disease creators on the planet, oftentimes behind all the major illnesses, whether it's diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all the big ones, all the big top killers, sugar, you will find, is at the root of all of them, right? Doesn't it make sense to just help yourself a little bit like that? Doesn't take too much, right? But it takes everything, because it's so easy to grab the can, isn't it? Sometimes it's not even us. Peer pressure, right? Friend comes, go on, one for the road, gin and tonic, or, you know, JD and Coke, whatever it might be, and boom. And guess what? Once in a while is fine if you're in control. But most of the time we're not. We're not making conscious decisions. So what I'm talking about here is living consciously. Guess what? Money is the same. If you're not consciously retraining your brain one tiny step at a time, sustainably over time, to have a better relationship with money, then chances are over time, you'll have the same habits you always had with money and end up with the same results that you've always had, which is most of the time generational. Most of the time, poverty is inherited. Scientifically studied, most of the time, the 7-year-old has already been trained and programmed to not have money because it doesn't grow on trees. It's the root of all evil. It's not easy to come by. Blah, 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 blah. Trained, 7 years old, done. You already know everything you need to know about your money blueprint. Dead and buried, age 7. How about that? So you've got to undo a lot of stuff. You've got to get back right into the depth of your childhood memories, of the conversations that you grew up with around the subject. What did you hear about money? Did you hear celebrations when somebody went from £5 an hour to £5.20 an hour? Were they popping champagne because they got a 20 pence pay rise? Was that the thing they talked about? I've got a pay rise. Wow. £1,000 a year more. Yay, this is awesome. No, it's not. It's shit. You're getting screwed. You're worth so much more. People don't even talk about pay rises anymore, do they? There haven't been pay rises in some places for like 5 years, 10 years. How's that possible? But people follow that path. How is it possible that the cost of gas can go up, the cost of electricity can go up, the cost of food and transport, petrol, diesel, everything can go up, but your wages can't? How is that even acceptable? Guess what? It's accepted. It's irrelevant if it's acceptable or not. Common sense tells every human being it's not acceptable. Doesn't work. That math doesn't work. Yet, habitually, we sit back and let it creep into our lives as if it's okay, as if it's normal. And we do nothing about it. Zero. Have a little moan is about the most we'll do about it. The same wage we made last year, we're making this year. Electricity and gas goes up, petrol goes up, we'll have a little moan for a couple of weeks. And then they'll entertain us with some other news and we'll forget. And we'll just pay more and earn the same amount of money, which means net, you're earning less. If you're earning less every year over a period of 5 years, 10 years, it's not healthy, is it? Can't be healthy. Can't end well going forward. And you can never make those 10 years up. Those 5 years, you never got a pay rise. You can never catch up again. It's the nature of numbers, the nature of compounding. You will never, ever catch up the money you never made, ever. You can't. You can only make the money that you make today and the money you make going forward. You can never make money that you were supposed to make last year. Because it's gone. That time is gone. This is the thing people don't get. Once time is gone, time is deleted forever. You can't buy it back. You have a window called life, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, whatever that might be for everyone, right? You got that window. And in that window, you're either going to value yourself or you're not. And the ones that wake up and start to value themselves can now start paying yourselves with different measures. You can decide the measures. Doesn't have to be hourly anymore. It can be by the value that you add in the marketplace. It can be based on leverage. You can use the mechanics of money to your advantage. What the wealthy people do and the rest don't. Leverage is your friend. It's the biggest, most powerful tool you will ever have when it comes to the money conversation. Leverage your knowledge, leverage your time, leverage your money, leverage the tools of the company. Phenomenal. I leverage a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure without having spent a millionth of a percent of it. How about that? See, do you relate to it like that? In my head, I own a blockchain tech platform, and it's my job to tell everyone that they need to get in and benefit from this amazing world that's adding value and creating financial freedom for millions of people around the world who are in the know. And so if you're not in the know yet, guess what? I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to get you in the know. That's my job. I'm going to show you how you too can leverage a multi-billion-dollar operation and tap into unlimited wealth. Could it be that simple? It is. It is if you want it to be. And at the same time, it's one of the toughest conversations you'll have with yourself, because the minute you say it, some of you will find this. If you're conscious when you're going through this learning process, you will see yourself saying everything I've just said and then finishing with but. I own a multi-billion-dollar blockchain platform, but I don't really, because Alessio and Louis and the rest of the team own it. Destroyed. You own it. You're a co-owner. Think of yourself like a franchisee. You've got a piece of it. You've put your skin in the game. Your skin is in that technology. You own a piece of it, right? So by default, because of the nature of our business, you are able to leverage your ownership of that platform. You've paid in. You've bought yourself a license, a franchise, a territory, whatever way you want to relate to it. You've bought yourself a piece of a multi-billion-dollar setup. And if you're not telling people about it, shame on you. If you're not getting people in on the act, wow, why not? You'd rather watch them suffer and struggle? No. Why would you want to do that? Let them know. Say, listen, do you know what? I care enough to want to share this with you. You might not understand it. You might even hate me for doing it, but none of that matters. It's not about protecting my ego. It's not about being prideful. It's not about being right. It's about sharing with you and hoping that you get a glimmer of what I'm trying to share with you. And I might be clumsy, and I might not do a perfect job, and I might not explain it very well, but my heart is clean and my intention is pure. And all I want to do in this conversation is open your eyes to a world that is happening right here, right now, for everybody that's living on this planet that's breathing. It's happening if they open their eyes to it. And I want to be one of the people on the planet that's helping people open their eyes. I could easily be one of the people on the planet that doesn't want to help people open their eyes. And that's easy to do as well. But I'm choosing to be one that's out there having the conversations, making a difference, and helping people transition across this new world of money. When credit cards first came out, or debit cards, when the concept of card money first came out, I am before my time, but I'm convinced with every fiber in my body, I'm convinced there would have been resistance to it. There just would have been. Oh, you can't trust those cards. I bet that's the kind of language that was used. I don't know about that. I'd still rather write a checkbook. I'd rather write a check. Actually, I do remember when I was a kid. I do remember this. See, there you go. Conversations help, don't they? When I was a kid, customers used to write checks for goods. They'd come in the shop and they'd write a check. They'd buy some stuff, some groceries, some cigarettes, some alcohol, some, whatever they were, bits and bobs, and they'd write a check. And that was how it was when we bought the shop when I was 10 years old. And it was like that for a few years. And I remember at some point, fewer and fewer people were writing checks. And then people would come into the shop and want to start paying by card. Actually happened, witnessed it. We didn't have a card payment machine. So we would have to say, sorry, can you go to the ATM machine down the road, get some cash and bring it back, and hope that they went down the road, got the cash and came back. And loyal customers did, but some customers wouldn't. If they were impulse buyers, they'd probably get the cash from the ATM and go to the next shop down the road and buy their stuff there, right? You'd lose business because you weren't prepared. But then we had a machine, a card payment processing machine, and people would come in and go ping, or no, it wasn't ping back then. They'd slot their machine in and put their PIN number in and get their receipt, right? People resisted it until it became normal. Can you see that? I remember we used to have a fax machine behind the counter as I'm talking about technology. Who remembers those fax machines? Right? And we would charge £1 to send a fax. We used to make loads of money doing that. City of London, right in the heart of London. I had the brainwave of putting a big notice on the window, £1 to send a fax anywhere in the world. And it would cost us a phone call. Huge margin, because that was the tech of the day. People used to love sending faxes because it was like sending a letter by post, but they got it instantly. It was like a breakthrough in technology, right? You could get messages around to each other instantly on paper. Early days of text messaging, I guess, right? But I used to sell fax services for £1 a pop. The reason that popped in my head is I was in Dira a couple of days ago with Dizzy and Sue. We were walking around a few days ago, and I saw a shop window and it said fax sending service. It made me laugh. I was like, wow, I was doing that like 35, 40 years ago. People are doing it now, still here. Can you see? There are people today that are still sending faxes when we have email, we have SMS, we have messenger services. We've got tons of tech to get messages around the world at lightning speed, way more efficient than fax, but there are people still holding on to fax technology. You've got to choose, right? To move with it or not. Guess what? Network marketing exists. Now you can live life, you can live an entire life like it doesn't exist. You can. You can carry on doing a 9-to-5 routine and never look left or right and never try anything else. And you'll be all right. You'll get through life. Guess what? People that send faxes today, their fax, provided somebody's got a machine on the other end, does arrive at the other side. And they're happy customers. Job done. It works to its own extent, right? Bit Neanderthalic, not very eco-friendly, overpriced, doesn't make sense to the logical mind, but then that's exactly what I'm talking about, isn't it? To my logical mind, it doesn't make sense to not do anything outside of work. Absolutely have a job, 100%. Everyone on the planet that needs a job should have one, 100%. Everyone on the planet that needs a job to pay for the roof over their head, clothes on their back, food on the table, should have a job. But it shouldn't be the only thing you rely on, surely. That makes no sense. That's Neanderthalic in my head, not everybody's head. So then I'm like, okay, good, keep doing that. But alongside that, if you could earn double every year by doing something else alongside, why wouldn't you? So that maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you give yourself a clearer exit strategy. If you can retire 10 years earlier, or 15 years earlier, or 20 years earlier, why shouldn't that be part of your plan when you're 20 years old? Why shouldn't that be taught from day dot that, listen, here's how it works. You educate yourself, you gain knowledge, you add value to society, and you get paid for adding that value, but you also have a side hustle so that by the time you're 50, you've earned from a job and you've got some stability and some, comfort and all of that. And also you've got skills here that earn you an extra fortune. And, if you're super blessed, you might retire when you're 30, maybe less blessed, 40, not very blessed at all, 50, and zero blessed, you'll retire at 65 like everybody else, but still at least you had a go, versus you didn't even bother having a go, which only has one outcome. You retire broke at 65. Can you see? So our job is what? To educate ourselves and others as to how the dynamics of everything works, and then how to solve whatever problems they're trying to solve, challenges that they're trying to get over. How can we help them, empower them financially? Be straight about this stuff. So listen, I'm blessed. I've started learning about money in ways that I never thought I would. And I want to pass that knowledge on. I'm building a circle of friends around me that are all together learning about money and financial freedom and how to undo certain things in the brain that keep us from earning more, tapping into our potential, having a better lifestyle. That's the conversation I'm all about. I'd love to have you on that journey with me. Come on, come into my corner and let's explore that conversation. What would it be like if you made an extra 500 a month, an extra 1,000 a month, an extra 2,000, 3,000 a month? Now you're talking full-time income levels, right? An extra 2,000, 3,000 a month. Are you kidding me? Part-time? People do full-time for that. 100% they'd be interested in doing part-time for it. If you're really courageous, ask people. Listen, that full-time job of yours, what does that pay you? 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a month? What if you could learn to do that in 10 hours a week instead of 40? Would it be a skill worth picking up? I'm hanging around some people that teach this stuff. Let's start learning. Might take a year or two to learn this stuff, but guess what? It's worth it. Is it worth it? Is it worth learning those skills? If it took you a year or 2 or 3 years? What if it took you 5 years to learn the skills to earn an extra 4,000 or 5,000 a month? Is it worth it? Every day of the week. There's not a day on the planet that's not worth it. That deal is $1 million deal right there. If you can just teach people that, let's spend the next 5 years mastering our money conversation so that we can shorten that 40 to 50 year work journey by a decade or two. It's leverage. That's power, right? So anyway, I've made my point, I think. I'm going to come into the room. If you want to come and mix and mingle with me, stick your hand up like Grandpa Crypto just has. Hey, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Kalpesh. I just don't know how you do it. Every week you come on here and then for, what's that? I don't know, how long is it? 42 minutes. You without a script, without anything. It's just amazing, honestly.
Oh,
and
bless.
so much in there is just, every week I learn something when I come on. The one or two things I've got to say about it is that the word can't is a word that doesn't appear in my dictionary. I wasn't allowed to have it in my dictionary. My mother taught me that many years ago. She used to say to me, Andrew, there's no such word as can't. You always can. There is no T on the end of it. Forget it. And I mean, I've lived with that all my life. And funny enough,
well, there's no coincidence, Andy, that we all love you so much because you bring that to the table. You are such a classic example of somebody that emulates that. So what a beautiful thing.
That's what I tried to do anyway, put it like that. The other little thing you said about earning, I remember sitting in the back of a Land Rover going to Young Farmers when I was about 17. The guy driving, a guy called Richard Cooper, my second cousin, he said, do you know, I'm going to be all right, mate. He said, I'm going to earn £1,000 a year. I said, what? That's impossible.
Andy, 1 second. We're all distracted by somebody's
got a whiteboard
what's going on here, but yeah, there's a whiteboard someone's managed to share here. I need some help. Sue, Sharon, any Zoom wizards? Mick, anyone know how to undo this thing? It's a bit distracting, isn't it?
What, cross out where? Cross out there? Does that work? No.
Hold on, let me do the unmute because I've asked for all this help and nobody.
It's not mine, is it?
There you go. No, it's not yours. It's well, I don't know who's.
Yeah.
Go on, Sharon.
If you go into security, Kalpesh, you can remove all those options. I always remove whiteboard from every presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, that probably needs to be done beforehand. No worries.
No, it can be done now.
It's done now,
Okay.
but in future, yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Right, I'll look at that. Sue, can you look at that for me?
You've got Benny. Benny, can you stop your whiteboard, please?
Oh, there you go. See, you've even identified who it is. Thank you, Sharon. Benny.
Yeah. Benny, sort yourself out. He doesn't even know he's doing it, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Often,
you know. So if you can put me as I don't know whether I'll get permission.
What I'll do. Yeah, let me just co-host you.
Hey!
Oh, there you go. Benny's done it.
There we go. We're back again.
Well done.
We're back.
All right,
okay,
Andy, back over to you. Sorry about that.
When I was about 17 years old, I was in a Land Rover going to Young Farmers. And the guy, Richard Cooper, my cousin, second cousin, said, I'm going to be earning $1,000 a year by next year. I said, how can you earn that much money? I said, I'm only on a £5 a month or something. That's what I was on. I was on peanuts. Wow. And he said, Well, I'm sure you can if you stick your mind to it. I said, okay, let's try. And I started some football ball rounds. And literally within, I don't know, 6 months, I had trebled my money that I was
Wow.
taking home. I was working 3 nights a week, but it was a fantastic business for a few years, really. And I got married on that, actually, on the money. It could pay for a
Wow.
honeymoon in Mallorca. And the other thing you mentioned was fax machines. I had a fax machine, or 2 fax machines, when I was working in the Middle East, because we had a 24-hour contract running on the oil rigs and on the production platforms, and we had to invoice every day. And how could we get that information? We learned about fax machines. We got them installed in our offices and on the rigs. Every morning I'd go in 5:30. All the timesheets used to come in. Thank you very much. Do the invoice down the offices. Got paid the following day. Brilliant stuff. You know, the fax machine saved our life. And I went off to London while I was there and went into offices of a solicitor in London. And he said, Andy, you've got to come and have a look at all our new equipment. I said, oh, what have you got? He said, look, teletext machines. And they were wall to wall. He had about 20 of them, just had them all fitted. I said, I should take those out and stick in fax machines if I was you. So there we go. Anyway, thank you very much for all you do, Kalpesh. It's absolutely wonderful evening. I just love that.
Thank you.
I don't know whether we'll see you. We'll certainly see Mick later. And I think we'll see Sharon and 1 or 2. So when is it? Oh, I don't know. In 3/4 of an hour, I've got a little launch call coming on, and we're going to have a bit of fun on that one as well. Thanks ever so much, mate. Cheers.
Amazing. Thank you, Andy, for always bringing the heat. Sue, you're up next.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh. Just so many golden nuggets in what you shared this evening, and loved Grandpa Crypto's his learnings, right? His experience of not saying can't, you know, like he's always been brought up to can do. And I think, you know, belief systems are so key to your success. You know, like I pretty much grew up in a, you know, very, you know, working class family where it was all just about surviving, just getting by. You know, I didn't have it any other way. Like I never knew there was any other way to be other than just survive, like go get a job, you know, hourly pay rate and be happy with that. And, you know, and I thought when I was in my corporate job, I thought like it was the best that I was, you know, like I was in my element, you know, had a company car, you know, earning a salary and, you know, laptop. And I was like, oh my God, how lucky am I to have all this, you know, until I got to the crypto space and it just totally, you know, smashed that ceiling for me. But it really taught me loads about, you know, my own personal self-worth as well, which I think is really important to, you know, for all of us to get like, you know, where are we within ourselves? Because, you know, Dizzy actually shared on Facebook today, you know, like, you know, it's an inside out job. You know, if we're going out, running here, running there, doing this, doing that, which is all great, but actually, where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of wanting validation externally, or is it that we're coming from a place of really totally trusting ourselves and what we want to create in our life, you know? So, you know, I'm not going to lie, like there has been times when, you know, I have been looking for that external validation, or, you know, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? And all of that sort of stuff. But I think I've now kind of crossed over to the place where, no, I'm the leader and the creator of my life, you know? And it's up to me to create that. And even, you know, like being in Dubai last week and, you know, reflecting on some of the things that I've learned and experienced out there is really getting that, you know, what do I want to create as my next level, you know? And I've come back from Dubai this week and, you know, I'm plugging into crypto communities, you know, which I've not done before, you know, really stepping out into my zone of like, okay, I want to go and mingle with people who are in crypto, you know, outside of the regular community, just to learn like what are other people up to, but also to go and share with those people what an incredible opportunity we have over here. And it might make their life a lot more simpler, that they love being in the crypto space, but it's a struggle for them, you know? So actually I could share like something so amazing, like it could be the best thing that happens to them, that I show up in that networking event, you know? So just really creating that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Love it. Thank you for sharing that. And you just reminded me, like one of the things that I've gotten used to doing here in Dubai, because there's a lot of crypto people in Dubai, but you'll be surprised how many of them attend crypto events, They know a lot about blockchain crypto. They're passionate about the technology, but none of them are making money from the industry. They even speak. They're on speaking circuits. They're attending events. They're on stage telling people how wonderful this technology is. It's going to change the way the world works and everything. And they get off stage and I talk to them. And I'm like, oh, so how are you monetizing crypto? And they have this kind of look of, well, we've got some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. We bought a couple of altcoins and they're kind of hoping that some of those hatch, but there's no, they're not making money from the industry. They're just hoping that they've placed whatever they've got in the right place, and that over time something might happen. I'm like, look, what if I could help you create cash flow from crypto? What if you could get paid every single day by being in this industry doing what you're doing? And they're like, what do you mean? And it's as simple as that. I'm like, I can help you monetize all of your knowledge right now. You can get paid for your knowledge tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. And this is getting people's attention. It's like, wow, really? So again, great idea. Get to those events. 9 out of 10 of those people are not going to be making money from the industry, but they're passionate about it. They believe in it. They don't have a mechanism to monetize it. And we have that solution. Mick, don't we have that solution?
Yes, we do. I have no idea what I'm going to say.
Welcome to our Zoom. Mick is one of our dynamic Monday night presenters, and also my upline
tomorrow night as well, because Goran is in Australia. The word "can't" is in my vocabulary, Andy, because I can't say no to you every time you ask me to do a launch for you, and it's been more than 3 or 4 now at this stage. I just want to talk briefly about people. Kalps, we met many years ago. I booked you for seminars in Dublin and Cork. We swam in a swimming pool where I tried to teach you to swim in Germany. We've met in various other locations around the world, especially Dubai. Grandpa Crypto, this crazy lunatic, came in the teeth of winter at 79 years of age with his wife who needed his care, and he's our constant carer. I'm just booking an 80 grand camper van, and I'm coming across on the ferry in the middle of winter to Ireland. And can I stay in your drive for a couple of nights? And can you plug me into some electricity? And we had a wonderful time, and I took them around Kerry. I've met Sue, of course, 4, 5, 6 times, mostly in Dubai. And the only person I haven't met here, hello, is Dr. Vinod. But the friendships we've made along the way, especially with Sharon. Sharon has told me today that she's coming to join me in Tenerife for 3 or 4 days. With my wife will be here, by the way. No designs in that direction. But we've made the most wonderful friendships through this business. And I just want to say, it's just been, you get serially kicked in the teeth by this business, or we have done over the years, but we've never found a sentinel. We've never found that the guiding star to the gates of heaven, if you like. We've never found this. It's called Aldebaran, actually, is the star. There's nothing you can strip down about this company and make anything bad of it, or this opportunity. It has been incredible. It's so transparent, and we're only scratching the surface. I know you know some of the things that are on the way. Did you see Mert Mamo's video about the telephones? Oh my God, the stuff that this opportunity is going to bring people. There's nothing in the world like it. But final thing, I'm watching a box set called Billions at the moment for the 3rd time. If you haven't seen it, great British actor Damian Lewis with Paul Giamatti, a great American actor. But there's a girl in that who does a bit of mindset training for people, and it isn't really as much as you do here. This is a free service, and people pay thousands for what we see here, and these nuggets of knowledge from Kalpesh. So anyone who misses it, it's their loss. So thanks, Kalpesh, for all you do, and I'll hand over to redoubtable Sharon.
Thank you, Mick. Beautiful, Sharon.
Oh, I love my Tuesdays. I just sit here, get ready, and I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to listen to Kalpesh, and you bring it every week. All I'm going to say is sometimes people can relate the Kalpesh Patel with certain different areas of their life. It's like when we hear music, we relate it to a place we've been. But for me, I think what people have to realize is that, we are programmed as people. I am the least programmed person because I go against the grain with everything. I'm quite naughty that way. I don't like following rules. I don't enjoy it. I don't like the banks. I can't stand them. I never have. I loved school, but I questioned why I was being taught the nonsense in geography or science. I used to say, I'm not doing it. I don't agree with that. What do I need to know? So I think that came from my heritage of grandparents, entrepreneurs. And, I had the most beautiful, guys. I had the most beautiful beautiful upbringing of all time in Wales with traditional families, you know, and they swore, you know, because they're Welsh and they're hardworking. You know, my granddad was an entrepreneur that had a documentary made about him because he created so much success. So what they call it, went rags to riches. So there was a documentary, and I kind of followed that footpath. I always knew that a job was not for me. And I think I agree with you, Kalpesh. At the very beginning, you talked about the amount of times you failed. To tell you what, I bet I could put mine alongside you, and I bet we're in line, Kalpesh. Business, relationship, diets, commitments. But you know, I never give up though, and I think the key in life is every day do something, just one thing to make your life better. That's what I tell people, even if it's, I don't know, anything, something kind to a person, smiling, you know. I don't play the blame game. I do me. And if there's something I don't like anymore, Kalpesh, guess what? I blinking say it.
Boom.
And through you, your mentorship, I believe that the true Sharon James is finding herself back. So
Wow.
I'm going to thank you, my friend, because I'm not quite there, but I'm telling you, I'll be dangerous.
Oh,
I'll be
bless.
dangerous,
I love it.
Kalpesh. So, Mick, I
know.
cannot wait. I booked Tenerife. I am coming, baby.
Boom. Enjoy. That is going to be a fun trip for sure. Love
no,
it.
he doesn't know. He's working. Oh, no. Don't think it's party time. He'll be working.
Love it. There you go. Get him back in the saddle while you're there. Good. Dr. Vinod, how are you, my friend? Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hey.
That was a fantastic training, but I've decided not to attend any more of your training from next Tuesday, because every time I have to learn one new trick. You said get one customer every day for 90 days and you don't have to work anymore. I said, I can do that. Then you said, what kind of Christmas do you want in this December? I said, okay, I want the best Christmas. And now you say something that I love. You know what I love? To have a Coca-Cola. And now you say, don't drink that fizzy drink. I said, God, don't tell me I have to give up now my Coca-Cola because I'm an autopilot. As soon as I go in a restaurant, can I have one Coke, please? Not only that, the head waiter will see me and bring a Coke with ice on. But I've written down here, stop drinking that fizzy drink from today. Kalpesh,
Wow.
it's difficult to keep up with you. You know, and I like
You're
to
amazing.
congratulate Grandpa for beating me to become level 3. I said I'm going to be, but I'm still there. And, you know, I've got 75 family members. I ask everybody if they want to make money. They say, I have money. I say, give me £1 million. He said, no, I don't have that. That's why he said you have money. So at the end of this month, definitely I'm going to be level 3. And Kalpesh, you are fantastic. So I've got 3 things planned from you. No more Coke from today on autopilot. But I'll enjoy on Diwali, little bit of sleep. You know, I tell you something. When I was a medical student, I came home from India to Africa, and my father said, how is everything? I said, fine, but I want to have a swimming pool full of Coca-Cola, and then I can jump in and drink as much Coke as you like. He said, okay, you can have it. So now I have a swimming pool, but it's empty because nobody swims in this country. So thank you very much. Fantastic training. Keep it up. And I will be there next Tuesday to some new tricks. Thank you.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you. And I love that. You're actually taking new stuff on. To say something like that at the ripe age of 80 and say, do you know what? I've spent 80 years enjoying this particular habit and I'm willing to break the habit is, for me, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not even about the Coke. It's about the willingness to recreate a new pattern of behavior and delete old patterns of behavior. I love that. Thank you so much for declaring it live on here and committing to something just as instantly as that. Amazing.
I'm like that flea, you know, I can go up to there, then I come back, go like that and come. But now I remove the ceiling and
Boom.
end of this month, level 3. Join
Done.
you. Thank you, Grandpa.
I'm in.
Very nice.
I'm
Congratulations.
with you all the way. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinod. Dizzy, you're up next, buddy. Hey, we're missing you over here already.
Oh yeah, well listen, look, I've just got off the plane and I'm in a cab going home, but I thought I'll get into the end of the training. I missed the training, but I've been lucky enough to spend the last 12 days with this guy side by side. So I've had plenty of training, and what can I say? This is the greatest time to be alive. You know, if you've understood what Kalpesh is talking about, there's an opportunity right now to do generational change right now. You could be that one person, that generation that changes it for the rest of them. That's what's available here right now. And I'm super proud, super excited, and loving this journey because, network marketing, to those that understand it, it's a game changer. So if you're here for the first time, plug in every Tuesday, because every Tuesday there's gold delivered. You just got to grab it. And like Dr. Vinod said, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're never too old to learn. So thank you, Dr. Vinod. Thank you, Kalpesh. And it feels good to be home, but I've got some work to do now.
You got some work to do, brother. Very quickly share your manifesting magic story today of what happened at the airport.
Okay, so, I mean, you can't make this up. We've been laughing and joking about Borat for about, 7 days. And we intensified the Borat jokes. And he said,
for those that don't know Borat is a character that has evolved from Ali G was the original character, and then Borat was a new set of movies made by the same guy. If you haven't had a chance to catch some of his edgy humor, then there are some funny clips on YouTube that we really laughed a lot at this week when the three of us were together.
So Kalpesh actually said to me, he goes, listen, I want you to make a video and do the Borat voice interact with normal people. Well, we took it to another level. I actually met someone who looks like Borat. And not only that, he's a marketing genius. He's been doing online marketing since he was 13. He does it for the big names in the world. And he loves crypto and he loves network marketing. I mean, come on. It just does not get any better than that. And my affirmation is I'm always in the right place at the right time. I always say the right thing to the right person. That's just how my life is. It wasn't always that way, but you tell yourself enough how life is, and that's what you're going to manifest, because I could not have met a more perfect person than that guy, combining with the whole Borat thing. And I actually did an impression of Borat with him, and he loves it. He's been growing his moustache since he was 19. It was you just can't make it up. So listen, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Kalpesh, for all you do. For not just me, but for the whole community in the world. It's about to go off, people. This
it really is.
Get ready for Christmas.
Boom. Thank you so much, brother. Awesome. Much love. Thank you. Aaron, how we doing, champ?
Hey, Kalpesh, I am great. Again, thank you. Great presentation as usual. And then, you hit the nail on the spot, because usually around this time I'm going to pick up my son. You see mini background there from school. And when I got to pick him up today, he started crying. So I asked the teacher what was wrong, and she said that he was breaking up some crayons in class, and she put him to stand up in the corner just for a short while, and he started crying. So the teacher had to come and calm him down and so forth. And you hit it on the spot where you speak about by the time a child is 7, from the parents and the teachers, we teach them, we program them to be a particular way. And they would have and now they would have to unlearn everything that they learned if they want to be able to survive in the world to come. So I mean, thank you very much for that reminder, and the session that you would have been shared with us today. Just amazing. Personal development is a key thing. I'm unable to travel as I would love to right now, but there, I'm telling you, you're gonna see me at almost everything, and that's why I don't miss. I try my best not to miss. I've never missed one as yet, and I don't have any intentions of missing any, so I try my best not to miss any Tuesday. I think the one I missed was last week when you guys did not have any, correct?
Correct. We didn't do a nuts and bolts last week for the first time in 3 years.
That's the only one I missed, and I know that was because that was the event that was going on in Dubai and so forth. But again, thank you, and I hope people would have really, I really hope people take these things. Oh, come on, they don't understand, or they don't know what they are missing out when they don't attend this session. So thank you, and the little testimonies and the feedback from everyone else, Sharon, Grandpa Crypto, Dr. Vinay, Dizzy, all of you guys. It actually adds a lot of value to what you were saying, and even it puts the icing on the cake. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on, Aaron, and beautiful sharing about your child and how you can acknowledge that we can help them undo the stuff faster if we know all about it, right? So, hey, Andrew, you're up next, buddy. Look at that.
Hello, hi everyone. Thanks, absolutely fabulous call. Yeah, just a quick story about how we should keep going and the persistence and the faith. I used to be more of a middle long distance runner, but I once got asked to do a 400-meter race, and this was up against really fast sprinters, like sub 55 seconds for the 400, and I'd be lucky if I got over under 60. And my friend was running it as well, and I was just in to build up the points, and everyone just shot off, all 8 of them. I was coming last, but slowly my stamina kicked in, and I just kept going and focusing on my friend and focusing, and I'm going, I'm catching you. And it was that pure focus on my friend and the persistence and the drive and just the fun of it. We were giggling away, both of us, and we actually came in second and third. Wow. And I got like 51 seconds for the 400, and like that was never done it again. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, so keep that drive, and slowly you'll get there, and you'll keep on going and going and going until you win. It's that persistence. What is it? The saying, think and grow rich. Persistence is what carbon is to steel. Is that one? Faith.
Faith is what carbon is to steel. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Very cool. You just reminded me of a story when, again, sports day was there, or it was an event, and I was at secondary school, and I was a cross distance runner, cross country runner, and I got asked to replace somebody that was part of the 400. I had to do my 100 meters. There's four people running a 400 race, a relay race. I had to do the 100 meters of the 400, and I completely cacked myself. I was like, I don't do sprints. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you choosing me? Choose somebody else. I can't remember what speed and all of the rest of it, but the bottom line is, it's like when you can become playful. That was the bit that I got from it, because at the time, similarly, I literally cacked myself, and I thought, you know what? They haven't got anyone else, hence why they're choosing me. So whatever I do is better than what anyone else can do anyway. And so when I let go of it, I just enjoyed it. I actually gave it everything I got. And in my head, I ran it faster than everybody else. I don't know what the times or anything, but in my head, I had so much fun. I ran it faster than everyone else. It's the fastest I was ever going to run, right? So I gave it everything I got. But yeah, it's brilliant. Love it. Having fun. Having fun was important, like you did, saying, I'm coming after you. It gets rid of the pressure and the tension. The business is the same. Have fun with it. Add something. Don't just do the stuff. Say, I am coming after you, Sharon. I'm getting your rank. Like, we have that, right? Every time Sharon's going for a rank, and I'm like, no, don't do it. Leave it for me. Give me your commission. So we have that little banter and play going. It just makes it so much more fun. Brilliant.
Thank you.
How you doing, champ?
I'm fantastic, thanks, Kalpesh. And just wanted to come on this call. I haven't been on many of your nuts and bolts. I'll be honest, I didn't really know what these nuts and bolts were about, actually, until I started coming on them. And then I just realized how powerful they are, because you just share your wisdom in flow. And that is something so special. And as I've heard some other people say on this call, people that aren't on these calls are truly missing out. And you literally just stack 'em, rack 'em, and pack 'em when it comes to sharing nuggets with us. It's amazing, and I want to also, I mean, as you know, I was in Dubai last week for a week,
Yes.
and great to connect with you and Sue and Dizzy and and other people within the company that was at the Future Blockchain Summit, and it's just so amazing, right? When you immerse yourself into this environment and connect with like-minded people like yourselves, with the energy and the positivity and the connection and all of that is just fantastic. And as I know some of us did, we saw the energy firsthand or in via videos and stuff at the summit. The culture of this company we're working with, right from the top, the very top, is so special here that I've not seen in other companies. The willingness for them to embrace, go outside their comfort zones. They've got huge expertise, yet they're continuously learning and developing and growing. The CEOs learn English to a level that is phenomenal, where he can hold conversations at a really comprehensive level, business level, blockchain level. I mean, that's just incredible. I've worked with companies in the past where they're quite dogmatic about how they communicate, and they don't like to speak anything other than their mother tongue. But they realize the importance of sharing that message around the world, and and really embracing that themselves. And I think that ripples down through the whole organization, and it's fantastic to see. I'm hugely grateful as well the time you gave me too, Kalps, when we met up. Seeing you in the flow firsthand was just something just amazing. It really was. I can't even put it into words. So I want to thank you for that. But everything you do week on, week out, week in, week out for the community here, it's what's propelling us forwards. It's kind of funny, we have energy price issues around the world these days. I tell you, if you could bottle the energy you share with us every Tuesday, like that's just it's insane, right? It's off the charts in terms of the value you're delivering here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart. And it was indeed a pleasure hanging around with you and spending that time and doing those short videos. Looking forward to you sharing that out and making the most of it. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you. Zoom user, feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi, Kalpesh.
Hey, is that Colin? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Sorry, we have load shedding here.
Oh, bless. No worries. How are we doing?
I'm super fantastic, just another great day. Every day is just another great day.
Boom.
So I just want to give I don't want to go too long. I've finished corporate, I think 2018. So I've been just over 3.5 years in crypto. So in the crypto space, I was almost in 6-7 platforms, different platforms, So I make myself a promise I'll never go back to corporate. And since that day till now, it stick with me. So the last project, with all the projects building, and that project just collapsed. Your people start not to trust you anymore. And I was building some few big teams, and I think around December, the last one failed again, and that time my wife she was pregnant, and there was no income. But I make myself a promise I'll never go back to corporate. So that's why somebody sponsored me and We Global. I never stopped. Shared to new people, new old school friends. Wherever I can get numbers, I just call people. And I think I showed 2,000 euros for Director 4. And I already have somebody on my team already outranked me.
Wow. Amazing. Look at that. So you've already created somebody in your team that's gone past you. Beautiful.
Yeah, so started from no people. I'm over 300 people already on my team now in 3 months. From from all the people that didn't follow me, build a new team of 300 people, and that's hard, but I did it.
You are amazing. And thank you for coming on here, sharing. And, you know, I know it's a great journey for you as being a father, a new father, and also, you know, overcoming what you had to overcome to get started in this. Because oftentimes, as we do touch on these trainings, it's easy to get stuck in a loop of repeating the past. And you have to break free of all of that historical, the chains of the past, so you could recreate yourself and go forward. And you bounced back hugely. And I know you're about to go to, you're right through these ranks at lightning speed. So congratulations for being an inspiration to.
Thank you so much. You know, my goal is December, I'll be close to Ambassador 6.
Oh, come on. And I know that you're more than capable of doing it. So I'm excited. Well done, buddy.
All my small now, you know, I can't let somebody in my team outrank me.
Right.
Also won the splitting 20% for November, so I can't miss that 20% splitting.
The match,
so I need to,
exactly.
I need to match my downline.
Boom! Come on, love it. There's motivation for you. Go get somebody in your team that runs faster than you, and you will soon be running much faster yourself. As Andrew already points out, happens in real life. It also happens in business. So brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been amazing. As always, you never know who's going to share what wisdom, what nuggets are going to come out, who's going to get inspired by what story. Bottom line is, this industry is the space to be. We are creating waves in this industry. The team you see here before you is leading the way. We haven't even started. This is the beginning of the beginning. It's the scratch on the scratch. And 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, there will be people on this Zoom that will be celebrated worldwide as champions at the top of the plan that will have transformed everything about their life because they were consistent, they took the right actions at the right time with the right people, stayed plugged in, and created magic in their lives. Will you be one of them? Thank you. As always, it's been a pleasure. And I'll see you again, same time, same place, same link next week. In the meantime, don't forget tomorrow, you've got another presentation, 7 p.m. UK time. Then Thursday, we've got Sue. Actually, this week it might be a swap around. It might be Dizzy on Thursday and Sue on Friday because they've got some other stuff that they want to do. So whichever way around it is, you've got to line up every night, take advantage of, bring your guests, show them what's possible, and let's build your empire together. Thank you. Much love. See you at the top.